So I'll be pretty transparent about this one. I had no plans of actually making this video. I didn't want to. I wanted to stay away from it. And frankly, there are many reasons for that. One of them being that I'm not necessarily a power scaler, but also another one being that I like to enjoy my videos. I'm not gonna sit here and overanalyze, and I've never been that type of person. And I like enjoying crossovers without dealing with massive amounts of power scaling. Now, with that said, this video isn't even really me massively power scaling, because I just want to talk about why Toji versus Kokushibo actually isn't that close, and it's far from it. And now, I would like to say this first off, just right off the bat. I absolutely love both of these characters. Frankly enough, I probably enjoy JJK more than I do Demon Slayer. So for those who may come at me saying that I am biased, unfortunately that just couldn't be farther from the truth. But I want to start with what Toji brings to the table. And assuming how you guys know that I started this video, you probably know what the answer to who wins this battle is, in my opinion. And like I said, in my opinion, because crossing over animes doesn't necessarily make sense sometimes, especially when visually and when you take things in, especially with Demon Slayer, it feels inconsistent. Now, let's start with Toji. Like I said, we know he's superhuman, insane IQ, insane amounts of crazy sense. I mean, this dude was able to more or less see curses without seeing curses. Now, the reason why I even say it like that is he can't necessarily even see curses. We know that Maki had to use glasses to actually see the curses, and Toji would be in the same ballpark. He actually can't see the curses, but he can actually react to them based on air displacement, which would make it absolutely insane. Now, he also is shown to be able to run on water, but running on water isn't as insane as you possibly could think, but he does run on it in a way that it seems casual. But there also is a theory that if you have enough strength and power in your legs, you could inherently make water feel like jello, as if you were able to run on water just because of massive power in your legs. Now, I'm not saying that's the case with Toji, but there definitely could be the case in general, but the argument is he's able to run on water, and that's just a fact. He's able to run on it, so bare minimum would make it so that he could run 67-ish miles per hour or above. But like I said, he can confidently run on it, so it's easily he's running at subsonic speeds, and that's just a fact. Now, just based on speed caps, you probably could put him somewhere around hypersonic to maybe even, I've seen people argue that he is hypersonic or massively hypersonic, and that would put him around Mach 50. Now, I don't know if I agree with the idea of him being massively hypersonic, and the reason for that is a lot of the speed facts that we have are massively inconsistent. Now, I hate to say this, and because I love Toji to death, but I just don't think he's that fast, and I don't think JJK in general is that fast. Even Gojo himself would most likely not be near Mach 50, but just for argument's sake, we'll put Toji at Mach 50, and you might be, or those who want Toji to win, might be massively concerned why I'm so casually able to put him at Mach 50 and not worry about it, because, well, there's a lot of things that I actually looked over in terms of talking about Demon Slayer's power system. Now, before I get into that, I want to talk about how, yes, he is around Mach 50, or that's where I would place him, hypothetically, at this point. He would be large town attack power, most likely, large town durability. I don't want to understate how strong Toji truly is in terms of durability and strength of attack power, because he does more or less outscale most demons in the verse because of that attack power. But we cannot understate how JJK itself, the anime itself, is inherently not that fast. Now, I know some people will try and more or less extend the extension, and what I mean by that is use Toji into Maki because they're relatively the same person in a way, and it is stated that Maki has now transcended into the same level as Toji Fushiguro in the manga, but being able to extend from Maki to other people as well, leading it to basically Kashimo, who is able to use a lightning based attack, is kind of a tough stretch. And the only reason why I say that is because they talk about Kashimo's attack as an electrified cursed energy, not necessarily lightning itself. Now, there is no proof that it couldn't be lightning itself. I mean, I know when you look on the basically Wikipedias and stuff like that, it does state that he has an attack that is called lightning discharge, which I can read it based on just what the Jujutsu Kaisen wiki says, and it says manipulating the characteristics of his cursed energy allows Hajime to freely separate its electric charges. Now, I want to stop right there. It states electric charges, not lightning itself, but I will say, and I will concede to the idea that it does say that it results in a powerful lightning strike that rends the air and is guaranteed to hit without a need of a domain expansion. So I could see why people would argue that he is more or less shooting lightning. Now, I don't know if it's truly lightning. Now, there's a big difference between electric current and also lightning strike itself. And, well, we have an example straight from Demon Slayer of people utilizing an actual lightning-based attack, that of Kaigaku. Now, that would make it so that, more or less, Kaigaku would be moving at a bare minimum of Mach 500. Yeah, Mach 500. So that's, well, 10 times faster than what Toji would be at if we put him at Mach 50. Now, you might be wondering, well, why am I bringing up Kaigaku? I mean, why does that matter to the fight against Kokushibo? But it matters immensely, because demons in Demon Slayer are ranked, and we all know that they are the 12 Kizuki, and, well, Kaigaku is actually ranked at 6. Yeah. And Kokushibo is ranked at 1. Now, there are some pretty big, basically, kind of transgressions we have to take here, because, like I said, it is hard to make extensions off of extensions. And I made the same argument for JJK. It's very difficult to talk about Toji to Maki, which is a little bit easier, don't get me wrong. Toji to Maki is a little bit easier, but when we're doing Toji to Maki to more or less either like Sukuna, and then also relating it to someone Sukuna fought, it is a little bit tougher because we don't have all the information in a complete and synchronized flat line, you could say, and it makes it tough for us to actually more or less consider those things. Now, and I even bringing up Kashimo is kind of a tough subject too, because I mean, would even this relating to it, would this even matter in general? Kashimo being able to actually utilize lightning, I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it would really matter to the overall idea of Toji, but there is something that I want to talk about before I even get into Kokushibo about Toji, and that would be cursed tools. Now, you have to take some liberties here, because if we're talking about giving Toji just an iron Nichirin sword, just a sword, a Nichirin blade that he could use against Kokushibo and all the other demons, well, in my opinion, it's not close, and it wouldn't even be fair of a fight. Kokushibo is so much faster that it wouldn't be fair, and we would be approaching the same attack power, arguably, and durability, frankly, that, well, Toji's at by far, because Toji would be at a higher attack power and durability than most of these demons, at least based on what we have seen throughout the 12 Kizuki entirely. Now, with that said, though, let's get into the one weapon that would actually matter, because the other ones just wouldn't matter, because we're talking about curse techniques and so on and so forth. But what weapon would actually matter is the split soul katana, which was Toji's primary curse tool, and it was a more or less a Japanese broadsword, and it was able to bypass toughness and cut directly into the soul. And this is basically what I've seen to be the biggest argument for Toji taking on anybody in the Demon Slayer verse, that none of them actually have the potential of protecting their soul. Now, here's the thing, and I want to bring this up as a very, very big idea. We don't know that this would even affect demons. We don't know that this would even affect anybody in the Demon Slayer verse. Because I hate to say it like this, but when we have crossovers like this, and we have an idea of Toji, by the way, now listen closely, Toji going over into Demon Slayer, well, the argument would be made that he has to abide by the rules of Demon Slayer. You're dropping somebody in. There is no cursed spirits in Demon Slayer, guys. There is nothing of the sort. So this is where I will admit doing these crossovers and doing versus battles becomes really sticky. I mean, at the end of the day, we know so little about what would occur if they did cross over. And like I said before, putting Toji at Mach 50, well, would not even be able to scratch the surface with the capabilities that Kokushibo has. And I'm going to talk about Kokushibo for a second, and then we'll talk about some arguments that I've heard in the past as well. And honestly, I'm not here to even debate. If you guys want to debate in the comments, if you want to think that I'm stupid, if you want to think that or say that I'm wrong and that you have this and this and this why, I'm not even going to try to debate, because I'm not here to debate. This has never been the channel that I've ever enjoyed debating, especially with stuff like this. I enjoy making stories. I enjoy talking about fantasy type what ifs. That's like my thing. But if y'all want to talk about it in the comment section, maybe I'll throw my 2 cents in, but other than that, I'm good off of it. But here's the thing with Kokushibo, right? Kokushibo has some pretty minute feats. Now, you might be wondering, well, if he has pretty minute feats, how the hell does Toji even lose to him? Well, it's not that he has feats that are small, it's more that he has lack of feats that we even know of. Because we know that he does take on literally a ton of demons. He takes on, I believe, just off the top of my head, it's Genya, it's Muchiro, it's Gyome, and it's the little brother of Saname. Or no, Genya is little, so Genya and then Saname, excuse me. I'm like jumbled a little bit here, but he takes on all of them all at once, and you can make the argument that he wasn't necessarily even trying that hard. And when he dies, he even says that he himself will honestly go on to the next life because he doesn't deserve to basically overcome being his head being chopped off. Now, that's just one aspect I want to talk about, but another aspect would be just some of the abilities he has. So I want to start first with the fact that he has a Demon Slayer mark, which would give him the ability to see or access the transparent world. Now, the transparent world, what it does, more or less, is allows you to see the innards of somebody. And it's even shown by this when he tells Saname that if he takes any movement now, his guts would spill out and he would die instantly. Now, with that said, the transparent world does more than just that. What it does is actually shows you blood flow. And when it shows you blood flow, you can see where someone is tensing up and how they're swinging and where and what attack they are actually performing, giving Kokushibo a heads up. I mean, not only that, Kokushibo has 6 eyes on his face and also multiple on his sword, giving him the ability to actually see from multiple directions and more or less have full understanding of the entire environment. Now, don't get it twisted. Kokushibo has insane tactical intelligence. I mean, it's another level of intelligence. I mean, he's been around for hundreds of years, so it would make sense that he would be. His sword is very malleable as well, and he can become a more monstrous like creature, but we've seen that version of him was a little bit different in a way. And he would end up kind of leaving and losing, quote unquote, on his own accord, which is definitely, I would say, kind of anticlimactic, but that's beyond the point. He would obviously have immense durability, being that he has an insane high concentration of Muzan's blood, and, well, all of these things line up relatively crazily, and on top of that, there's something we need to talk about, and this is the extension of an extension, like I've said before, but in this regard, it's a little bit easier to think about, because, well, Zenitsu is not on the level of Kokushibo. Kaigaku is not on the level of Kokushibo. But you could make an argument that they move from the speed of Mach 500 to Mach 5000 because of their ability to use lightning. And also, there are other people in, by the way, Demon Slayer, that are part of the 12 Kizuki. I believe it is Gyoko. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry, but I believe it's Gyoko, or that's how you say it, that can teleport. So instantaneous movement. Now, I'm not saying Kokushibo can use instantaneous movement. I'm not saying that at all, but I am saying that Kokushibo himself is still number one, even though somehow these demons are drastically faster than him. Yeah, I think that's hard to believe, that all of these demons would be so much faster than him that it would be, well, still impossible for him to be number one. That there should be some eclipse, but guess what? Kokushibo has defeated them all. And frankly enough, of course, he hasn't necessarily been stated to fight Kaigaku or something like that, because he's a newer demon, and same thing with Gyoko, but here's the thing. They would take him on if they felt like they could beat him, but it's obvious that they feel they can't, even with a quote-unquote massive speed advantage. Now, for the arguments with Toji. Alright, this one's a fun one, because, for starters, the split soul katana, right? Maybe, just maybe, it does work. Let's say the split soul katana works and can actually cut directly to the soul. One, we don't know if demons actually have souls, or at least have a soul that can be malleable and cut through and killed. We don't know. Okay, that's one thing, and I'll admit that we do not know. So if that's the case, they could actually, or Toji could actually kill Kokushibo via this way, so not cutting his head off with an Ichirin blade. If he could kill him this way, well, could he actually hit him? Now, some of you may argue, and this is another thing I've seen, and frankly, there's probably going to be a ton of more arguments that I've seen, but I'm kind of keeping it consolidated a little bit here. Another argument that I've seen was that, well, Gyome can actually react to Kokushibo's strikes via his hearing. Now, this isn't 100% correct. Now, yes, he does utilize his hearing to a certain extent, but he also gains access to the transparent world, which we've talked about, that the transparent world basically gives him eyesight once again, but it's a lot different. And frankly, he's able to more or less recognize certain things or certain aspects of the transparent world, and also how to utilize it to his own advantage, manipulating his own blood flow, and is able to basically disrupt Kokushibo's attacks. And that's really the main reason why he's able to get off the attacks he actually is able to. Now, I will say and give some recognition to the idea of maybe Kokushibo only moves at the speed of sound, because when, well, Gyome can actually hear the speed of sound, or can hear his movements and react based on them. Well, a lot of Gyome's attacks are actually revolved around him slapping his chains together, and hearing those is kind of like echolocation in a way, and he's able to recognize where people are. Now, this would be a very, very vast understatement to say that Kokushibo moves at the speed of sound because, well, Gyomei uses his hearing to hear or to sense where he is, because Gyomei's hearing is insanely powerful. So drastically more powerful than anybody, not just for a blind person, because we all know that in natural human ability, when you go blind, your other senses are heightened. But his enhanced hearing is so insane that he was literally able to hear the sound of Muzan's flesh regenerating during their tiny brief confrontation they had right before he enters the Infinity Castle. And he's able to use it to determine that he's unlike any demon ever. That he is literally one of his own. That one on his own in a complete island of basically demon strength. Now, this would obviously prove the point that Gyomei's hearing is not just hearing or not just sound, and it's insane. Like I said, Kokushibo even notes that Gyomei uses the sound of his chains rattling to tell the exact position the chain is basically in. And to say that it's only and peaks out at the speed of sound because of Gyomei's hearing would be kind of a vast understatement, in my opinion. Now, like I said, this is a crossover and a massive one as well. And I'm sure people may argue that maybe even Toji could somehow stall out Kokushibo, because we know that Kokushibo was not trying his absolute hardest at the beginning, and frankly throughout most of the time. Because if Kokushibo decided, I'm going to take this seriously from the moment and the jump, not complimenting, not talking about how strong somebody is while fighting them, Kokushibo would have dismantled all of them, would have killed them very swiftly. Now, in a one-on-one is what makes it tough. One-on-one with somebody that is largely faster than you, most likely as strong, if not maybe even stronger than you, well, and with a durability strength and insane amounts of regeneration that can only be canceled out via Red Blade, and frankly wouldn't be canceled out by anything Toji can do. The only hope he has is somehow landing a strike with the Split Soul Katana, and we don't even know if that's a guarantee, if he'll be able to land the strike, for one, because there's a large amount that would say that he would not be able to land the strike because of how fast they truly are. And also, well, it's tough to say that it would even work, like I said, in the first place. But I want to stop right there, and I'm done talking about this. And surprisingly enough, I can't believe this is the most research I've ever done on a video necessarily, because I like keeping my stuff a little bit lighthearted and kind of like, let's have fun and talk about certain things that could be cool based around certain things in the anime, or if certain things happened when other things didn't happen. With that said, I want to stop there. I want to stop here, and this is why I believe Toji versus Kokushibo isn't even close. And I know some of you may take that very personally, and that's okay. And I hope you still can see where I'm coming from with some of the things I'm talking about. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. What you believe would actually occur, why you think Toji would win, why you think Kokushibo would win, and keep it civil. Or try your best to keep it civil, at least. I've gotten quite a few comments that aren't the nicest in the world, but nonetheless, we're here to make content, we're here to make videos, and we're here to have fun, and you guys are allowed to have your opinions. Now, with all that said, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Later.